Who is Mary Magdalene? Part 2. Hi, I'm Dr. James Holt, and the Gospel of Mary is one of the Gnostic Gospels, part of the library discovered near the Egyptian town of Nag Hammadi in 1945. They're known as the Gnostic Gospels as they contain elements of Gnostic teaching. This was prevalent in the late 1st century, where a personal spiritual knowledge was emphasized above the teachings that can be found in the New Testament. The spiritual aspect was the reality of life, they argued, and the material world was flawed. Indeed, it's been argued that John's inclusion of Jesus eating fish in the resurrection narrative was to highlight the materiality of Jesus in contrast to Gnostic ideas. The Gospel of Mary has survived as a fragmentary text. Scholars believe that it was originally written in the 2nd century, but this codex was a version dated to the 4th century. The extant version of the Gospel of Mary is attributed to Mary Magdalene. It is, however, missing pages 1 to 6 and pages 11 to 14, pages that included sections of the text up to chapter 4 and portions of chapters 5 to 8. It begins on page 7 in the middle of a passage. The themes are Gnostic in nature and also highlight the importance of Mary as a disciple of Christ. It begins with a discussion between the resurrected Christ and his disciples. He discusses the nature of the world as flawed, in that it is a mixture of the material and the spiritual, but that it will eventually be returned to its true nature. He closes with the following exhortation: "Beware that no one lead you astray, saying, 'Lo here,' or 'Lo there.' For the Son of Man is within you. Follow after him. Those who seek him will find him. Go then and preach the gospel of the kingdom. Do not lay down any rules beyond what I appointed you, and do not give a law like the lawgiver, lest you be constrained by it." This is followed as discussion among the disciples about how they would fulfill this command. Peter turned to Mary and asked, "Sister, we know that the Saviour loved you more than the rest of women. Tell us the words of the Saviour which you remember, which you know, but we do not, nor have we heard them." It continues, "Mary answered and said, 'What is hidden from you I will proclaim to you.'" She then speaks of a vision of Jesus that she'd had, where Jesus taught her about the nature of prophecy and the rise of the soul to its true nature. A large chunk of this vision and its account is missing, but we then return to the conclusion of her narration, and Andrew responds, "Say what you wish to say about what she said. I at least do not believe that the Saviour said this, for certainly these teachings are strange ideas." And then Peter, "Did he really speak privately with a woman and not openly to us? Are we to turn about and all listen to her? Did he prefer her to us?" Then Mary wept and said, "Peter, my brother, Peter, what do you think? Do you think I have thought this up myself in my heart, or that I'm lying about the Saviour?" Levi then defends Mary and says, "Now I see you contending against the woman like the adversaries. But if the Saviour made her worthy, who are you indeed to reject her? Surely the Saviour knows her very well. That is why he loved her more than us." At that point, the discussion closes and the disciples go forward to preach the gospel. The gospel is evidence of what Karen King suggests are the ongoing discussions and controversies of the 1st century following Jesus' death. What is the nature of the soul? What is the role of women? And many more. It does, however, highlight from an early stage the esteem in which Mary Magdalene was held.